Today, I'm going to be presenting my first book, which is called Mastering AI Search for Crypto and Web3 Brands. I'm very excited about it. I thought I would quickly write all my knowledge on a book, but it took me 3 months to do it. I wanted to compile all of my knowledge about this topic because I have very niche passions like SEO and Web3. And I wanted to create a framework and a way of working with AI search. I have been doing SEO for 10 years and I'm happy with it. But I know that there's something more hypey than SEO, which is AI search. How to show up on ChatGPT, Perplexity, and other LLMs. Because I don't know if you are using Google much, but I'm using LLMs because LLMs are better, easier. They give me better information. I wrote this book with my framework. The book, you can get it for free on my website, and there's a QR code at the end of this call. But here it is. You subscribe to the newsletter, and there it is. Also, if you love what I present to you today, you can book an AI strategy call with me. And if you're going to ECC this week and next, send me an email and we can meet there and we can continue talking about the incredible world, the fascinating world of AI search. Yes? Boom. Great. Fantastic. Now, most Web3 projects are invisible in the every single call I have with new clients is, why don't we show up on ChatGPT? And today I'm going to explain you why. And it's not because you lack content. It's not because your team is not good. It's not because you don't publish enough content. It's because AI system cannot reliably say what you do because they don't understand you and they cannot verify or reuse what you have built. And I'm going to explain each of those things today. If AI cannot explain what you do, it will recommend someone else. Right? And this is in every industry. And the learnings today, if you are not in Web3 and you're just here because you really like me, I'm going to tell you that the learnings from today, you can apply them to all industries, right? I'm going to make all of the examples with Web3, which is the core industry I work with. I don't know, prepositions in English, sometimes they're a bit tricky, so pretend you know what I'm trying to say. But the learnings are universal. You can apply it to every industry. A bit about me. I am an author, and that makes me feel important. I highly recommend you that you write a book to feel the same way. Besides this, I have been nominated for Best SEO in Europe in 2024. I'm a featured author. I have my own book, but before I was featured in other books like SEO in 2026, 2025, and 2024. I created the first SEO, Web3 SEO course. I don't know if anybody here has ever seen it, but it is on my website as well. And I speak at different conferences like DevCon, Shi-Fi, and some more SEO conferences such as webinars on SEO, among others. So yeah, I'm trying to admit one person, and it's very annoying when I have to do both things at the same time. Hopefully, now that I'm a feature author, I will hire someone to let people in my calls. That's how I see success coming in the upcoming hours, not days, not months, not years, in the upcoming hours, because I feel that as humanity, we don't have so much time. Anyway, I have been working in Web3 since 2017. I have worked with Polkadot, Consensus, Aztec, and many others that you see here today in this slideshow. And hopefully I work with you soon as well. Today, I'm going to walk you through the AI shift, why AI has replaced traditional search as the primary decision-making tool for users. Then we're going to see why Web3 gets ignored, the 4-layer framework, which is made up of 4 layers: technical, content, authority, and reinforcement. And then we're going to see the top 10 actions that you can take in the next 30 days. Boom, let's go. Now, probably you're aware of this, but the old model, SEO, where we went to Google or any search engine and we search, click, compare, and decide, is dying, has permanently changed. It's more common, at least for me, not for everyone, to ask ChatGPT or Claude or any of the one that you love, ask the same questions, like what is the best Solana wallet? What is the best coin loan provider? And then receive a short list and decide. The LLM decides what to do. Before in Google, you had 100 results. Obviously, you never go You never go after page 1, but you had at least 10 results. And now this model is summarizing or making our choices a bit more narrow, right? Here we have it, right? Before we have Google rank pages, you read, you analyze, and the goal was human persuasion. AI reconstruct the answers, reads all of this for you, and it tells you what to do. And I do everything AI tells me. I don't know if you do that. Maybe you shouldn't. But I don't have time. Just tell me what to do, please. What is the fastest, cheapest way to do something? This is where decisions happen. Because as I was saying before, which is the best DeFi lending platform? Which is the best Bitcoin lending platform? Which are the safest crypto wallets for long-term storage? All of these queries are going to be replied in any of these LLMs. If they are not there, probably your competitors are winning this. And before, as I said, we have 100 results. You could go from page 1 to page 10 of Google. If you are not in the answer, you don't exist. It's not page 1 or 2. It's one paragraph. And you have to be there. You have to be in that short list. If you are in that short list, it will be fantastic because LLM referrals have the highest converting rate of all traffic sources. And this includes email, SEO, PPC, not to mention social media, Twitter, which Web3 loves, X, they love X. We don't know what kind of effect X has on our return on investment, but we love it. We cannot stop spending on X. It's the only thing we spend on now. This number is unbeatable. LLMs have much less traffic than all of the other channels. Actually, it only has 25th part of the volume of Google, but it makes it up because of the conversion rate is so high. If you are not here, if you are not on these top 5, top 6 answers on that ChatGPT or Claude recommends, you're not anywhere. You don't exist. Why AI systems don't recommend you? Because they don't browse intuitively. There are rules. And they have 4, and they require 4 specific cognitive tasks for inclusion. They need to explain you. First of all, they need to understand what you're about. Once they understand what you're about, they need to put you in a category. Then they need to compare you to others, other competitors, other alternatives. And then they trust you. So they need to do those 4 things. And there are many parameters that decide if this is going to happen or not. And we are going to be covering all of that today. I was saying the differences between SEO and GEO, generative engine optimization. This is how we call the art, the science of ranking in LLM answers. Before we had pages, and AI builds answers from blocks, not from pages. In order to do that, you need to have a structured knowledge, verify the facts and data about you. You need to also trust you, meaning that it has to prove your authorship and it needs to have confidence in you. And it also needs to compile that information to give you actionable advice and steps. This is the way that AI assistant assemble modular knowledge from the blogs around the internet, all of the blogs. There are 2 ways in which LLMs can bring you in the answer. They can either cite you or they can mention you. And what is the difference between one and the other? When they use us as a citation, you are the source. You are a footnote. Do we want to be a footnote? No, not really. They use your knowledge and your pages, your information to explain the market. Imagine that somebody asked, what is Web3 SEO? And they quote some parts of my website. Great, thank you. Sam Alterman, thank you for taking this content and don't make anything for me. Now, this step is generally previous to this one. This is where we want to be, where you are the recommendation, where if you ask for who is the best AI search experts for Web3, they will mention it. I mean, that is the best possible answer. And this is where you want to be when you are the recommendation, when you are the answer. I have always been in this topic because it's my only employable skill, right? But from November last year till now, I have been very thorough on my own AI search optimization. And now I'm getting around 2 leads per week that come from LLMs, meaning Claude, ChatGPT, and others. Everything that I'm going to tell you today, besides things that I have implemented for my clients, are things that I have implemented for myself. And that's how I built this framework. We are getting to the core, to the heart of this webinar today. This is the 4-layer framework of AI search visibility. The first one is technical. And what is the question this answers is, can machine read your content? And this is going to touch upon the basics of technical SEO and the basics of that can be read by robots and also by search engines. This applies to both. Then content, we're going to see if machines can understand you and reuse your explanations. We're going to see definition, explainers, comparisons, and restatement. Then authority, should third-party validation, authorship, and consistent descriptions. And then the fourth one is reinforcement. Is your explanation repeated elsewhere? Do we have corroboration? And there we're going to see the top channels for this layer, which is Reddit, YouTube, Wiki, and Wikipedia. Let's start with technical. I included this drawing because I really liked it. It's part of the book, not the group. And I really like the illustrations, which I did all with Notebook LLM. If you're not using it, you should start now. An AI system will reference you if it can clearly explain what you are, how you work, who are you for, and when it should use you without guessing. We have one more slide, which is the order in which we are going to implement this. And this is important because in Web3 SEO, we jump into media, we jump into PR, we jump into podcasts without having the first three covered. And if you do that, you're not going to have the same compounding effect as if you go step by step. The order of factors is really important. First, we're going to do technical, then content, then authority, and at the end, we're going to do reinforcement. Don't trick me and don't trick yourself because it's not going to work. Let's go. Technical. Can machines read you? And we're going to split this into 3 parts. A machine needs to crawl you. And crawling is the process in which AI or Google itself go through the internet and finds stuff, content, websites, and understand it, and understand the structure of what is looking at it. Within structure, we have to mention HTML, and I'm going to mention HTML versus JavaScript many times in this call today. And after it has read your content, can it parse your content? Can it fully understand what you are about? And here we're going to see schema, markup, and definitions. 6 technical rules for AI visibility. First of all, your product must exist as a crawlable HTML, plain HTML. Very basic, but most websites in Web3 don't do that. Most websites in Web3 are built on React and Angular, and these are JavaScript technologies. Now, LLM cannot execute JavaScript. It means that it cannot read your website at all. And I know what you're thinking. No, probably it's not so tragic as she's saying. And I'm going to show you that is very tragic. Yeah, I'm going to show you, for example, probably we all know Hyperliquid, right? Very popular DEX, very popular DEX. Look at all of the things that Hyperliquid has. Wow, all of these things. Now let's see what if LLMs can read this. Oh, everything disappeared. And this is what LLMs read. Nothing. And we're talking about Hyperliquid, a solid exchange, reputable, probably they have money. Great, but LLM cannot read it. Now, can LLM read my website? If I disable JavaScript, yeah, nothing happens. Cool. Also, I'm using here, for this analysis, I'm going to be using 2 of these 3 Chrome extensions. One is AI Eyes, and the other one is Detailed SEO, which you can see here. Both of them are free. So if you want to do the same experiment as me today, you can with those 2 apps. Right. So understood plain HTML. First big mistake of 95% of all websites for Web3 that are out there. Then we need to make your website, your site explicitly crawlable. What is this? And there is a map here. So picture it as a map. So we need to show the map to LLMs. What does this mean? For example, I don't know if you have ever seen a sitemap before, but it's like a little map of every website, right? And if we go to my sitemap, which is here, victoriaolsina.com/sitemap XML, you can see here a map with all of my pages and all of my blog posts. This is pretty basic. WordPress does this by default. But we know that in Web3, nobody's going to ever use WordPress because it actually works. So most protocols don't have a sitemap XML. They don't even have a robots.txt, which is another technical document which tells the crawler where to go, if you can crawl a directory or not, right? And now there is a new document called LLM.txt, which is an emerging standard where we tell the AI crawlers what is our website about, right? So these three factors seem to be missing. Besides that, we know how Web3 works, right? So instead of having everything in one domain, we have everything split all over the place, right? And we have the app in a subdomain, the docs in a subdomain, the blog in a subdomain. And this fragments your brand. And this is really bad for SEO and from AI search. So ideally, everything should be together on the main domain. And the main domain, we have this lovely map where we tell the crawler everything we're about, right? That would be fantastic. That would be my dream. That is what Web 2 tends to be. But Web 3, no, we do everything different. So this is why AI visibility is very poor for this industry, right? Now, then ideally, we have one page per concept. What does it mean? That if I sell, for example, AI search services, like I do, I have a page for that. If I sell SEO services, I have a page for that. I have one page per service, and I have one page per blog post about different topics that I write about, right? That is pretty basic. But no, we don't do that in Web3. In Web3, we have everything together on one page. Yes, that's how we do it. Besides that, something quite basic in SEO is to have SEO titles that describe what each page is about, right? For example, what is this page about? This page is about, what is this page about? What is the title of this page? Well, it's about a book, which is called Mastering AI Search for Web3 and Crypto. This is pretty obvious. If I go to another page on my website, like SEO for Crypto, we're going to see another title because this page is about something else. What we see in Web3 is that everything is home, /the brand. And this is a really big mistake. Why? Because the main factor that LLMs use to see if they're going to read your content or not is the title. This thing, if I don't have anything here, if I just say Victoria Olsina, the LLM, what will it understand that my page is about? Nothing. But everybody's doing the same mistake. Title and then brand. Home, brand. But you're not going to do that. You're going to be better than that. And then the sixth factor is to use structured data. And structured data is a series of labels. I'm going to show you an example here that I have for you today. Here you have it. Structured data. Safe Global. Safe Global is a wallet. It's a multi-sig wallet. And LLMs don't read as a person. They have some issues like trying to read narratives, trying to read all of this. We insert schema markup. We are telling LLMs in a table that this is a software application, this is the name, this is the description, and this is the format that machines can understand better. It's like the label of food. Those kind of tables are really good for machines. Not so good for humans, because humans, we need to write persuasive stories, persuasive text. But these kind of labels are really good. These are the 6 rules that we have for technical visibility. As I said before, we know that in Web3, we have a one-pager, and then we link to the app, to the docs, to the blog, all in subdomains. And we have non-descriptive pages, titles and pages without a clear topic or targeting. And that is a mistake. And I'm going to show you Hyperliquid doesn't even have any titles. If I go to portfolio, I see Hyperliquid. This is the title of the page. If I go to leaderboard, I see Hyperliquid. What is this page about? Hyperliquid. Imagine you are a computer that doesn't have eyes, that your eyes are designed to crawl information. And not only this is totally empty when we turn off JavaScript, but also None of these pages don't even have a title, an actual title. I'm going to go back to the chat because somebody's asking me which are the extensions. I'm using two extensions. One is AIIs and the other one is detailed SEO. So the one that you're asking for, Mikto, is right. Great. So let's see other examples. Look at this. This one, we can turn off JavaScript and that's fine. We see everything correctly. But what is the title of this? What is the title of CoinFellow? CoinFellow, fantastic. I understand everything now. Thank you, CoinFellow, for such a thorough explanation of what you do. White glove crypto agent. I don't know what it is. I don't understand what it is. As a human, imagine a crawler. If I go here, we are going to see that everything starts to split. This is going to a subdomain. The blog goes to Substack, another different website. And now FAQs, the FAQs are in the docs. This is the only thing that we have in the main domain is this one pager that says almost nothing. And then we can launch the app and maybe we see something. No, nothing. I have to sign up with my wallet. I'm definitely going to plug my wallet with money into this thing that I don't understand what it is. Many signals are broken. Not only for AI search and but as a user, I need to connect my wallet. I need to put money here. Give me one trust signal. Explain what you do because I honestly don't understand. Here it says, your OpenClaw agent. For what? What do I do with this? If you know the CoinFellow team, then to contact me. And I'm going to show you, yesterday I saw this on X and people on X, they will type up about this. I'm going to show you this because this one, it's embarrassing. This is a crypto wallet, a Bitcoin wallet. And what is this? The only modern Bitcoin app, whatever that means. In Web3, we are used to make things and websites a bit, I don't want to be rude. I feel I should. I love the image of the bread. I'm a big bread enthusiast. I love this animation, but I wanted to find some information about this product. And I asked different LLMs and none of them know what this is about because there's not a team, because there are no trust signals, because there is no other websites referencing this protocol, not only from a design perspective, but also from every single trust signal that a human or a computer need. This is a bit poor and better because LLM do not try their best. They can or not, and they move on. They don't waste the time trying to, like we have done 5 minutes of our life lost in trying to understand what CoinFellow does. No, they don't have time for that because they are AI, they are smart, better and faster than us. Technical debt in Web3 is low, very, very low. And there's no excuse because these are not advanced problems. These are things that most Web2 websites have solved like 5 years ago. And Web3 is behind. You should download these 2 free apps that I told you today and check if this is the case. And if this is the case, ask your dev team, why is this happening? And assign ownership and a deadline. Don't accept this. We want to be relevant. Everybody's on AI search. Everybody using ChatGPT. You need to show up there. And if your website is blocked by JavaScript, nothing that I'm going to explain later. If you are like Hyperliquid, which this is the case of most DEXs, if you have this, there's nothing else. The other 3 layers that I'm going to explain are not going to work. If you are this and you cannot sort it out, the rest of the presentation will not be useful for this. Cassia Lopez says, I would imagine bad-coded websites will be as bad. Yes, Cassia, exactly the same thing that you're saying. Because all bad-coded websites, meaning websites on Lovable AI, Replit, and etc., are built on React and JavaScript, meaning that this is going to be the same problem, unless you use my master prompt. I have a prompt that sorts all of these issues, and I'm going to show you because Cassia mentioned this. I wasn't going to mention it because I wanted to keep in time, and now we're going to be late, but do we care or not? This is a website I made with Lovable AI for my friend who is getting married. Totally on topic with this conversation on Web3. This website is purely in JavaScript. It has these nice animations. Everything that moves online has JavaScript. And we know that in Web3, we need to make everything move because if there is an element that doesn't move, it's not crypto. This is the website for my friend, wedding 18th of July. Don't crash the wedding. I did this with Lovable for my friend. And I thought about the same thing that Kasia mentioned. If this is in React, it will not be indexable by crawlers. Actually, we see the same information than on the website because I use a prompt for this. And I can show you the prompt at the end of the call for the people interested. I can share the prompt with all of you after. Evidently, my friend did not ask me to do this. My friend is a doctor. She requested that the website was crawlable by LLMs without the use of JavaScript, but I did it because I want to be thorough. That's a very interesting question. Thank you for asking. I'll share the prompt at the end of the call. We're going to go to the second layer, which is content. I know there's a lot of marketing and content people here, which don't like the technical part so much, but they like the content part very much. Content, what do we need to do here? Can machines understand you and reuse your explanations or not? In Web3, people publish, content everywhere. But most of that content is announcement and partnerships or opinion-based leadership. Everything is thought leadership. Let's bring our CEO and make it look very smart on X. You're a coin fellow and you don't even explain what you do on your homepage. What is the sense of that? I have been in this industry since 2018 and I still don't understand. What else do we publish? Product change law, threads, white papers, all of the things except for explanations, definitions, risk framing, and comparison. And that is not what Web3, what AI requires. AI requires that you are thorough, that you explain what you do in a structured way. What AI is actually looking for is not like we are building the future of decentralized finance. What does it mean? Are you a credit card? Are you a loan? Tell me what the future is. Tell me you are non-custodian lending. We are closer to that. Don't talk in a multi-brand language, or maybe have a heading that says that and then explain what you actually do. Explain when you say you are secure and user-friendly, no, tell me the audit. Who is auditing you? Where can I see live data, like actual facts? Not nice words, actual facts. AI needs definition, mechanic, constraints, comparisons, and risks. Beyond the marketing narrative of how great we are, we need facts. What are the 6 essential content types? First of all, we have canonical explainers. What is Confello? What is a crypto wallet? Clear and quotable. Then we have spokes, and spokes are little pieces of information that are risk, mechanics, and constraint. 1 page per concept. Then we have reference pages, like, for example, fees, limits, parameters. How does your product work? Besides that, we have something that Web3 never has, which is product pages. What do you actually do, Coinfellow? What is it? We don't know. Who is it? What do you do? Who is it for? And what can it not do? Tell me, please. Then comparisons. Let's say we could compare Bread, our 2 favorite brands from the evening, Bread and Coinfellow. Which is better for, there are Bitcoin wallets, there are both wallets. Which one is better for Bitcoin yield, right? That could be a good comparison page between you and your competitors. And then negative qualification. This is something that is not very common in marketing, but it's who should not use this. Not only who should use it, but who shouldn't use it. Who does this well? Well, we have our friends from Fireblocks. And I'm going to show you something really interesting that they do. They have a canonical explainer for stablecoin payments. All of these 5 pages that I'm going to be showing you are stablecoin payments, and they dominate this category. And why? Because they use all of these content types. Here we have what is stablecoin payments, right? So if you're a stablecoin payment solution, first tell me what is it? It's a glossary page. Then we have expert blog commentary, which is scaling stablecoin infrastructure from wallets to network. This is a thought leader. We're going to have an abstract piece. It's fine. But that abstract piece doesn't mean that they don't have all the other content types, like, for example, product pages, reference pages, and comparison pages. These are the kind of pages that we always miss. What does your stablecoin payment infrastructure do? And they have this page. And that's why they dominate this sector. They have all of these pages. Then we have reference report, and this is the kind of thing that makes us trust them, which is state of stablecoins. Tell me what is a stablecoin in 2025. It makes you look like you really know what you're doing. And what else makes you look like you really know what you're doing? Publishing a book, I hope. And then comparisons, because there is a lot of stablecoin payment solutions. They're going to compare themselves versus all of them, and they're going to arrive to the conclusion that they are the best. They're going to arrive to that conclusion. But they're going to tell me, not because they made it up, they're going to tell me, they're going to tell you why they are the best. And they're going to use table, which is one high extractability format, and they're justifying why they're the best with data. They're not making it up. It's like unmatched security because we're certified on the facts. So I'm going to take all of the facts about me and I'm going to tell you that I am the best. And that is a very smart way of doing. Now, how are we going to write for LLMs? I know we have different content strategies. So I'm going to show you the main concept, which is very similar to writing for SEO. And then we're going to see the high extractability formats. So the main thing that we have to do is to give a quick answer, concrete answer, direct answer, right? Before we start explaining everything else that the topic is about, we're going to give a 2-sentence answer, right? Then we're going to use semantic structure, which are descriptive headings, subheadings, bullet, and tables. Remember bullet and tables, because this is really important to come later. Then we're going to be citation worthy. We're going to include a specific data, particularly this a report. We're going to have data nobody else has, right? Probably Fireblocks has data from, because they're a stablecoin provider, they can give us a lot of cool stats about their industry. And you can do this, you can do the same for your industry. Whatever you do, if you work with people, you know what is the mistake that 9 out of 10 clients do. So you have data, use it and be citations worthy. Bring something to the internet that nobody knows yet, right? Now, also, we need to cover the topic fully and add related questions and edge cases, like what happens if this happens or if that happens. Use cases, who is using this? Besides that, we need to use natural language queries. What is a natural language query? Questions, for example. Questions and answers is a very well-quoted format. It's one of the top quoted formats. So questions and answers, questions and answers. Yes, we also need to add context and entities. We have to clarify who, what, when, where. Yeah, most of us don't do that. Ideally, we support multimodality, meaning including visuals, diagrams, cables, again, video. And the last one is demonstrate authorship, demonstrate expertise. This is very much related to what in SEO we call EAT, expertise, experience, authority, and trust. Yeah. If somebody wants to hire my services, yeah, and they see that I have created a book and I have spoken in a lot of conferences and I have a YouTube channel where I speak about this topic all the time, evidently it will look better and I will look more credible than if I don't do all of those things, right? So authorship, showing why you are the best, the most qualified person to talk about this topic is great. And you know what? Here we can see on Fireblocks that they do this. We saw a post with the author here. So this is the author, right? We know that this is a person that knows what he's talking about. And most blogs in Web3 don't have an author. It's written by CoinFellow, whoever that is. But we need to tell people who you are, what you do. Why are you the best person? Well, the best qualified person to talk about wallets and networks. Yeah? Boom. Great. Now, extractability framework. Which are the best formats from LLMs to take their content from? We have 6 formats, and I'm going to show you this. I also named these high extractability formats, but this is mostly bullet and tables. We have quick answer blocks, FAQs, brand consistency, extractable chunks, and an extra, which is the 90-day refresh loop. If we want to make our content LLM ready or AI ready, beyond the 10 rules that I gave you before, we need to use tables and bullet points, stats, blog quotes. We need to start a page with a quick answer block, because the thing that LLMs quote the most is the first 150 and 250 words from each page. At the top of the page, like this, look at this. This is a definition block. This is what this page is about. And Fireblocks is doing that very well as well, right? FAQs. Every single page should have FAQs. FAQs is great for questions and answer format. And what you can do with FAQs, you can add schema markup, and it will show up in that nicely formatted labels for computers. The computers love structured data. Beyond that, we need to keep our brand consistent. Always the same definition. And I'm going to show you an example next. We also need to write in extractable chunks. I love that word, chunk. We have our descriptive heading, and below of this heading, each section should have a copy that if we copy and paste it, it should be understood on its own. And then if we refresh every 90 days, we're going to be quoted 40% more than if we didn't. The 90-day refresh loop is really, really important. I'm going to show you, because I tried to do this for my own book, and we're going to see. Here we see what the book is about, the quick box. And I also try to include the problem here as well. This is a bit of more marketing text. But then I talk about what is this book? Canonical definition. What is this book? And we say what the book is about. And then we have 4 bullet points, which are a high extractable format. And then what are you going to understand? What are you going to learn? You're going to learn all the bullet points. Who is this book for and who it isn't for? And I can qualify my prospect better. Then about me. And this definition shows up in a lot of in the platforms I control, like X, LinkedIn, Instagram. This is my canonical definition. And then I mention this everywhere. You're going to see that I mention all of the brands I have worked with, all of the books that have been featured everywhere. And then you can get the book if you subscribe to my newsletter. Remember, it's free, the book. And then I have some quotes from people that might be in the call today or not. I have quotes from people that are leaders in the industry so that you can trust me. And to finalize, what do we have? Frequently asked questions. Then I added all of the other content that I have about AI search, articles and guides, and many of the SEO webinars, Web3 SEO webinars. It looks like I know what I'm doing, doesn't it? I think so. I understand this is a lot of work, and that we have to put all of these 16 rules together, and then we have to inject the brand. And tomorrow, imagine I launched a book last Wednesday, so I have to adapt all of the destinations everywhere. I know it's a lot of work. How I generally do it with my clients, we define templates for each content type. We test those templates, we adjust those templates, and then we automate with make.com or N8N. This doesn't need to be done manually. The templates and the adjusting, yes, because we still need to use our brain every now and then. But then we can automate most of the content with AI. But at the beginning, we have to think here a little bit. We are going to start with the third layer. Layer 1 and 2, they have a lot of similarities with SEO. And now we're going to cover layer 3 and layer 4, which is how we make machines trust us. Yeah? Are we good? How are we feeling? We are all good. We're having the time of our lives. Boom. Let's go layer 3. Authority. Should machines trust you? Trust is not what the things that you say about yourself. Trust is how others talks about you. Trust is what the internet says about you. In Web3, what do? Press release, logos, partnership, follower counts. Those are the metrics that matter. Now, but what actually matters, beyond already having a crawlable website that machines can read, can understand, and having product pages that tell what we do, remember this is the third step, we already did all of the other work, is to have independent third-party mentions, appearing in educational content, beyond announcement. We raised $10 million. Well done. Why is that important for me? I think that when we look at, for example, our friends from Fireblocks in this state of stablecoin reports, if we have a PR about this, it's much more valuable. The findings of this report is much more valuable than a press release about we raised 20 million, Series B, Series C. That is important for you. Well done. Like a pat in the back. But is that so important for your clients? I don't think so. Educational content is better. And consistent descriptions. We have to say the same thing about ourselves everywhere. Definition that I showed you, Victoria Olsina does this and that, everywhere. And ideally, we get community validation. This is a canonical sentence. And this is a formula to do it. It's a marketing formula. Brand is a category that helps users to achieve outcome by mechanism everywhere. You write it down, you save it in a doc, and you repeat this forever. In every interview, in every article, in every podcast. I don't know if we had a lot of men in the call. We know that men have podcasts. What is a man without a podcast? Say what you are about, what your brand is about. Explanations over announcement. This State of Industry report from Fireblocks is much better than we raised 100 million. And also the association of credible categories. When you were a teenager and your mom didn't want you to hang out with those people that were not so polished, because we not only need to be, but we need to pretend we are from a credible category. We need to pretend that we are from a good neighborhood. And it's the same. If you are quoted and if you appear on reputable websites, other protocols talk about your reputable protocols, not meme coins, it's better for your semantic of your reputation, for how LLMs perceive you. And then explicit risk acknowledgement. We have to tell people what happens if things fail, when the fee increases, when there is a risk of us not being able to perform the task, the 100% capacity. This is similar of who is this not for? Is my book for meme coins? No, meme coins are not going to be interested in this because meme coin wants something that is a quick hack. And that is fine. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just probably the book, 118 pages, probably not for you if you're looking for a quick hack. But if you are in this webinar, at the end, I might give you a quick hack. I might give you 10 points to take away today. We said that consistency is the primary signal. So we cannot say that CoinFellow is a revolutionary DeFi layer on one source, and then on another one is a yield optimization, and then on another one is a liquidity management tool. No, inconsistency is not acceptable. We need to say all the time with our formula what we are about. We cannot have the model hesitate. I showed you the canonical definition for myself. I help Web3 brands improve visibility across Google and AI search platforms through SEO, LLM optimization, and content systems. That was my definition until last week. I have to add that I'm the author of the book. So I have to make LLMs quote me again. Make Victoria great on LLMs again. I have to start pushing content into the internet with this same framework you have just seen, because not only I wrote the book, but I'm implementing every single day what I said from the book. And now I have to change the definition by adding that I am the author of this book. I spent some time this weekend, author here, author of the book here. This is LinkedIn, author of the book, author of the book. But if you see the definitions, most of them are saying the same thing, that I do this for what from this definition, you get a pretty cool idea of what I do. And this is what you should do as professionals for your own self, as marketers, and for the brands you work with. How to establish authority? The first one. First of all, we can establish author credibility. And we saw it on the Fireblocks website. We saw that they have an author. And that's great, because anonymity is an authority killer. LLMs refer to offense to know who is the author, attached to a real person, to validating expertise. Everything in your own blog and your client's website or employer should have an author. Who wrote this? Then Web3 loves PR, but there's a very smart way of using PR for semantic distribution. What does it mean? I told you that I wrote the book and now I have to change the definition for LLMs. And PR is good for that. Why? Because I launched a PR this week and it has a new definition that I'm the author of this book. We have this message distributed across 800 media outlets, and that will help me to train the AI on what I want them to say. That's how I use it. More than got funding 10 million. What else we need to do? We need to earn explanatory coverage. This is the highest value coverage with a problem-oriented educational setup instead of the 10 million funding. And then ideally, we can leverage community validation, which there will be more of that, non-promotional community validation. There will be more of that in our last chapter. And how do I do this? With automation and AI, because life is too short. I launched the book last week, and I have an agent that is pitching to different media outlets with a new definition, saying that I wrote this book Every time I pick journalists, I say I wrote the book because I want LLMs to know this. And I want you to know that as well. And thank you for being here and celebrate my book with me today. Tell LLMs that I did this. And the last layer, we're almost at the end. Reinforcement and distribution. Is your explanation repeated elsewhere? This is similar to what we saw in the last chapter, but the goal here is have the internet saying the same thing that you said before. What I want to say with these slides is that LLMs don't trust just one source. My website alone with the book, well done, well done. But if I have the website, the launch, the book on Amazon and on Google Books, which the book is right now on Amazon Kindle and it will be on Google Books. It looks like I'm a real author because guess what? I am. And then we do PR and then every single journalist request talks about the book. Then it must be true that I wrote the book. We need to tell the rest of the internet to corroborate that this has happened. And we need to have different platforms saying this. And this is really important because where do LLMs answers come from? These are the top places where it comes from. Reddit, LinkedIn, Wikipedia, Medium, YouTube. Now, is X anywhere here? But we spend all of our marketing budget in Web3 on X, and it's nowhere here. Not all channels are weighted equally. We have just seen that Reddit is the main channel. If Reddit is the main channel to train LLMs, let's be on Reddit. And what is the second next channel? Reddit, we can post on Reddit. LinkedIn, we can post on LinkedIn. Wikipedia is the toughest one to get into. But Medium and YouTube and Google, all of these, we can control them. Let's post there to reinforce our messaging. It's quite easy to control. YouTube, another huge, very important channel. LLMs also take the script from YouTube. Whatever you say on the script, that canonical description has to be on the script as well. Every time I introduce myself for the next 3 months, I have to say, hi, I'm Victoria, and I wrote the book, The Loop. We are reinforcing what I have done. Wikipedia, very hard to get in, but if you read the book, I'll tell you everything about how to get in to Wikipedia. And then LinkedIn, we know that Web3 hates it, but it's very highly cited. Why? Because it's tied to real verifiable people. It's very easy to know if you know about a topic or not on LinkedIn. And then we have third-party editorial educational website, comparison, listicles, best of articles. And at the end, we have X, the lowest impact channel. X does almost nothing unless you use Grok. If you're not using Grok, X is mostly relevant. You should adjust your spending. And besides those 6 channels, I want to tell you that some really important sources or some things that we can do in other sites are comparison pages. Comparison pages is Fireblocks versus competitor or best of payment stablecoin solutions, best of your category, right? That is a very quotable format. Then neutral educational content, guides, frameworks, tutorials, everything that you can push in another website will be good. And at the end, community discussions, which this is something that Web3 does quite well, Discord, Telegram, but not important enough as to move the needle in LLMs. Now, how do I do this? Again, what are the channels I can control? Well, I have a YouTube channel, a blog, a Medium page, LinkedIn, X, and newsletter. Can I automate all of this? Every time I release a video on my YouTube channel, this gets automatically transcribed to my blog, and then it goes to, here you see, community messages. It goes to several Telegram groups. Then here it says there's a Twitter article, Medium rewrite, LinkedIn article, LinkedIn post, and newsletter. So this goes all automatic, right? Written for each format. So I can distribute across all of the channels that I control. So this video for this webinar will be at least all of these formats. And that is fantastic. I'm self-reinforcing the content of this book in every way I can. Yeah. And most of it is done with leveraging AI. The same for Reddit, which is a channel I use a lot as well now with different agents that continuously post the message that I'm really good on SEO and AI search. What is the difference between authority and reinforcement? Well, in authority, the goal is to earn trust. And reinforcement, the goal is to spread the signal. Yeah. So once we are credible, trustworthy, and experts vouch for you, we need to tell the internet about it. Yeah. Because if AI is uncertain, it will not recommend us. Now, this is the end of all the layers. This is the end of our journey. And what is quite important here is to notice is that one layer, I mean, each layer alone is not enough. Technical without content is what? It's an empty website. Content without technical, we saw in the Hyperliquid website, is absolutely nothing because AI cannot crawl and cannot understand explanations. Content without authority, nothing happens. We're not going to see that reflected on LLMs. LLMs will not mention you. Authority without reinforcement, nothing happens. AI cannot confidently recommend your narrative. And reinforcement without content is purposeless pursuit. So all of these have to work together: technical, content, authority, and reinforcement. This is the way we win in AI search. And there is a logical order of this. I'm sure that CoinFellow launched a press release. But what does that press release do if you cannot explain to me what you do? Not much. The press release does when the latest layer and not the first layer. The top actions you're going to take on the next 30 days. I said I wouldn't give you quick hacks, but 30 days is not a hack, is it? First, you're going to fix technical issues in your website or the brand that you work for. The technical issues fixed, then you're going to write a canonical definition of what you do or the company you work for does. Then we're going to create the core product pages if you don't have them. This is layer 1 and 2. And then we're going to continue on layer 2, and we're going to create best of category pages. We're going to tell the world that we are the best using data, using quotable stats, not just making it up. Then we're going to create alternative to competitor pages. All of your competitors, we're going to create the best alternative. We can also create competitor versus us pages. You see what we are doing? We are getting all of the foundations in place, and we are showing LLMs why they should pick us and not your competitors. Then we're going to add the quick answer block to every page or to every relevant page. That answer box is 150 to 250 characters. That is what we are going to do. Then we're going to have FAQs. We're going to align our brand description everywhere. Every single website will say that we do the same thing. And then we're going to reinforce with parasite SEO, is what I showed you before, which is LinkedIn, Medium, YouTube, all of the channels that you control. We're going to expand our message on those platforms. And we're going to do all of that writing for LLMs with the principles that I gave you today. I want you to know that the era of human persuasion is ending. The last thing I bought on Amazon was a security device. Grok recommended me because I was a victim of a robbery a month ago. I had extensive talks about cybersecurity with LLMs. And at some point, it recommended me a solution. I can buy this. This is £30 and it would solve my problem. The last purchasing decision I took was because an LLM recommended me something really relevant for my case. And this is what is happening today. This is not going back. We have to be ready. If AI cannot explain what you do, it will recommend someone else. That someone else is your competitor. Your brand is fire, and AI search is gasoline. How can I help you? You have access to the book. And if you check the QR code, you're going to go to the book and you're going to go to my website and you're going to see all of the ways in which you can contact me. The book is free. You only have to subscribe to my newsletter. Then, evidently, I do done for you implementation. I can implement this for you or for your brand, or we can have a one-on-one strategy session or team workshops. Whatever you prefer. I'm here and I wrote the book, and LLMs will quote me as the top expert in my field very soon. Do we have any questions?
Hi, Victoria.
Hi.
I have a question. What do we do if AI is picking up the wrong stuff at the moment? Because a lot of stuff is pivoting. What do we do when the new positioning is quite different. And then all of the things that have been published in the last couple of years are not really relevant anymore.
That is an excellent question. And that is similar to what I'm doing right now. AI search is a newer topic. So how do I start being referenced for AI search? Well, I have to do all of this process for the book and for my own positioning. If I'm offering something new, I need to write pages about it, product pages, blog posts. I need to be quoted. I need to go to podcasts. I need to be featured in articles, all with the new positioning. And actually, I'm working with a client on that. I have a client that used to do crypto compliance only, and now they do stablecoin payments. That's where I got the Fireblocks example, because that's a competitor. And it's like, if you in your website, think of this logically. If your website have 120 pages that only talk about crypto compliance, and there is one that talks about stablecoin payments, what do you think that you are going to be quoted for? What do you think that LLMs will say about you? But you're talking about a real problem, because everyone is in bear market. We are all pivoting to AI. You have to go through this process and build pages that talk about what you do, go to podcast, do the interview, have your new canonical explainer, do a press release. Every time you release a new feature, you have to do the work, unfortunately. Everything that I have just told you is every time that you pivot, you have to do the same thing. You have to tell LLMs, what are you doing now?
But what if they're not doing the old thing and it's just, outdated?
That will be, I think that will be more of a problem, because there is no such thing as, it's a problem for both SEO and AI search, because it's very hard to erase the footprint. You already have a footprint. So you are going to have to rebuild and try to occupy the same footprint now with the new positioning. But I would say that you should start from where the term start here. These, based off alternatives and competitors, are going to give you the fastest results.
So start building a new one, just hope that the old stuff is going to get buried at some point.
Well, at some point you will have enough content to outperform the old positioning. Erica, would it be possible to download the presentation? Yes, Erica, I'm going to send you this with the video between today's Wednesday, between Friday and Monday. I'm going to send you the presentation and the video. But you saw it live, so the video will be much polished. It will be edited with AI, so I'm not going to say anything inappropriate. Do we have any other questions today? Are we going to read the book? You should read the book. Yes, Lisa.
Presentation, I followed along very closely with all the steps and layers. What I'm thinking for my current company is that this is so much effort. How do I convince teams who want to see the outcome, but they don't want to invest in the input? How do I convince them that we have to do all of this?
Well, I think I come across that problem very much, because everyone, I have worked with several companies that their main competitor is Fireblocks, and everybody wants to be Fireblocks, but nobody wants to put the time and effort. Well,
Exactly.
if you don't want to put the time and effort, evidently you can hire the top AI search specialist for Web3 that is at the moment, who has just released a book, to do it for you. Evidently, it will require money. If it doesn't require time and effort, it requires money, isn't it? Every single content type, every single tactic, not every, but most of them, I have already tried it. There is a framework. There are agents or automations that can execute for you. And we can have a very strong foundation within 90 days. That's what I would suggest. You have the book, so there is a lot of things that you can implement for free today. And if that is not enough, book an AI search strategy, and within 90 days, which is something much shorter that any company can action, we're going to have measurable results for you on AI search. Anything else, or should I give you the prompt? I said that I was going to give you a prompt. Do you remember, or you were not paying attention? No, we don't remember. Nobody remembers. Before we leave, I'll give you this. This is from an episode I did in YouTube from one of my colleagues that has built the website entirely on lovable. And with this prompt that you have here, screenshot it or send me a message and I'll copy and paste this. Actually, I'm going to copy and paste it in the chat for those who are interested. And if you copy and paste this, we'll do the same thing that my friend's website is going to be crawlable by LLMs, even if you're using JavaScript. That's a prompt for Vibe coders. You should definitely follow me on YouTube. I say things like this. YouTube at Victoria Olsina. Anything else? Or shall we leave today? I think we're done. Thank you so much for coming to this presentation, and keep in touch. Download the book, it's free. Tell your friends and tell your LLMs about Victoria. Text me if you have any questions. Also, I want to tell you that the Amazon version has some things I haven't shared today. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a good evening. Bye.